Okay, so the next one that we're going to need to do from looking at the Audio Pro is we're going to need to provide the song, which we can do. We can call this the song title. And then that needs to be field underscore song. Again, this needs to be song, otherwise the media player is not going to be able to read it. And this is also going to be a text field. And then we're going to make this a text field. Scroll down to the bottom, hit save, and then we're going to scroll down to the bottom again and hit save field settings. Okay, I'm going to scroll out just a little bit, and now I'm just going to bring this up here. And then I'm going to hit save. Okay, so now that we have those 4 fields added, we have the audio upload, the audio image, the field artist, and the field song. What I'd like to do is create some image cache settings for this image. For those of you who did not watch the previous video, basically what we need to do here is we need to make sure that if they add a really large image, that it does some back-end conversion and only presents the media player with a really small image. As you can see, the image that goes into the Audio Pro is a fairly small image. What we don't want to happen is someone to upload a really large image and this player load that really large image and then scale it to this really small size, because that's just a lot of wasted bandwidth. So let's go ahead and take care of that. And you do that by clicking on Administer, and then you click on Image Cache. Now you can tell from the previous example, I've already provided some, but I want to add one specifically for this Audio Pro, which you go to Add New Preset. And then what we're going to call this is we're going to call this Audio Thumbnail, Thumb. Now the size of this is going to be fairly small, so let's go ahead and click on Scale, Add Scale. And this one's going to be pretty small. In fact, I think the actual dimensions of it are 60 pixels by 60 pixels. And then we're just going to hit Add Action. So this is already set up, and as you can see, it's a really tiny, which pretty much fits with what's going to go in here, 60 by 60. And then we're just going to make sure we click Update Preset. Okay, so now that we have our image cache set, let's go ahead and add that to that field that we just created by clicking on Administer, then Content Types. And then we're going to go to Manage Fields under Audio. And then under Audio Image, we're just going to click on Configure. And there you should see the Dash Media Player image cache settings again. And then, of course, for this Audio Pro, this might be a little confusing. This is not the node image on the Audio Pro skin. This is actually the playlist thumbnail. So what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that on the thumbnail, we select Audio Thumb. Then we scroll down to the very bottom, and we hit Save Field Settings. Okay, so now I think we're ready to start adding music to our site. So let's go ahead and go to Create Content, and let's click on Audio. And now all we do is we just find a good song to add. So what I'm going to do is just look for a song. So I go to my music, and let's do indie rock. I'm a big indie rock fan. And then we'll do some Rogue Wave, and then Descended Like Vultures. Let's see, we will do California. That's a good song. And then I'm just going to click Open and then hit Upload. Okay, so now let's do an audio image. I'm going to do large just so that I can just give you an example of it scaling dynamically. Then I'm going to click Upload. Now I just needed to provide the artist, which is Rogue Wave. And then the song title is called California. And then for the title, I'm just going to say Rogue Wave California. Okay, so now we're ready with that. Let's just go down and click Save. So now you can see here's our audio upload and here's our audio image. Let's go ahead and just create another one so we can create a playlist. So go to Create Content, Audio. Let's see. Let's do a different song this time. Let's do Pin Back. And then we're going to select Penelope. That's a good song. And then we're going to click Upload. And then we're going to click Browse. and then we're going to select this album art and click upload. The artist is Pinback. The song title is called Penelope. And then for the title, I'm going to say Pinback Penelope. It's kind of hard to spell. Okay, so now when we're done doing that, we're just going to click Save. Okay, so now we're ready to create our view for our images to show in the playlist. So we're just going to click on Administer. We're going to click on Views. And now we have videos, we have images. Let's click and make an audio view. Audio, description, a list of all audio tracks. Make sure that it's a node, and then we're going to click Next. Okay, so now again, I've done this before, so I'm not going to harp on it too much. So in the filters, I'm just going to click on plus, and then I'm going to click on node, and then we need to make sure that our node type is audio and that it is published. So let's click on add. For published, we're going to say yes, and then for the node type, we're going to make sure that it is audio, and then update. And then for our fields, we're going to make sure that we just add node title, just to stay consistent. And then click update. Now also, like I say every time, we need to make sure we save, because that'll be a gotcha that'll get you every single time. Okay, so now that we have our audio track, we're now ready to add the player, which is the Audio Pro player, to our page. So let's go ahead and go to Create Content, and then let's click on Page. And we're just going to call this Audio Player. And let me zoom in so you can watch me type here. Now this is fairly simple. What we're going to do is pretty much what we did on the other ones. We're just going to provide one new argument to get the skin. So we're going to say body, and it's going to be PHP. The params, the playlist is going to be the audio, which is the audio playlist that we just created. And then we're going to do skin. Now skin, this is what's going to be able to select our skin. Basically how this works is if you go to the skin section, you're going to see two directories, one called default, one called Audio Pro. All you do for the skin name is you provide the directory name of that skin. So for us, it's Audio Pro. That's it. And then we're just going to print the player. Print dashPlayer get player. Params, semicolon, and then you're going to close out the PHP. Let me zoom out a little bit. Also, another thing we need to make sure we do is select the PHP code from the input format. And then we can hit save. And so there you go. You see that the audio player has been added and is going to be able to play. Now another thing that you probably noticed is that this dashPlayer symbol is right in front of it. Unfortunately, I'm still working on this slight little issue, but if you have a license for your website, this goes away and it ends up looking just exactly like this, to where you can see the image, you can see everything going. But for the most part, this is just demonstrating that it is, yes, bringing in the artist name, it is bringing in the song name, and that you can play. And you can skip back and forth to the next track, or you can go to the previous track by clicking on this one. It's a really neat user interface. And also you can just go to the next track by clicking on this, or you can click on this. A lot of nice, neat twinning effects. So there you go. There's the audio support using the Audio Pro skin. Tune in for the next tutorial. Thanks a bunch.